Hello, Jamie Rodgers here today for Craftmania with a brand new bundle for you. Today we are looking at an incredible starter kit for your mini die cutting machines. Now this isn't just about what's in the box today, we have bought you a bigger bundle with a huge saving. So your actual recommended retail price for this bundle is around £60, but your offer price today is $39.99, which is actually incredibly close to what the machine should be on its own. So you might be wondering, what do I get in the bundle? So of course you get your mini machine, and we're going to come back to that in just a second. On top of that, we have a selection of dies for you that of course are going to work with inside the machine. So we wanted to kick things off by giving you one of Sue Wilson's latest mini expressions. So this is the Happy Birthday mini expression with its separate candle die. So you actually receive 2 dies in this one. Now my machine on my desk, and you're going to see this shortly, you can see it's a little bit dirty and a little bit ragged around the edges. This is because it lives on my desk in my craft room and I use it all of the time. And it tends to be sentiments and flowers are the things I go back to for it time and time again, because I don't want to wait for them to go for a manual machine or an electronic machine or anything else. When I'm cutting flower heads, I want hundreds of them and I want them quick. And I find this is a speedy way to do it. So with your word, this is just one of, I would guess, about 100 different mini expressions we stock at Craftmania. But this one's going to come with you in your bundle, so you've got a good head start on your die cutting and pieces to use with it. We then have for you the first in a set of 3 different Marianne design dies, which is also going to come in with your bundle for you. Now this one is our garden accessories one. So this is perfect maybe for the men in your life or your retirement cards, your lady ones who love to garden as well. So many times you're going to use this, it's going to come in handy. We have the little stake here, which of course is designed to look like the little stakes we put in our pot plants or out in the garden, but could actually be used as a sentiment holder for many different occasions. You also have a clear stamp that says garden with a little leaf underneath it, which of course is going to fit perfectly on there if you wish to stamp and die cut it. And then we've got your garden tools as well. So that's your first set from Marianne that's in here. Then we have your love heart set. Now this one of course has got your lovely love heart die going on here with this pierced detailing around the side, which can be embossed. It's not going to be a cut line that time, it's just going to be an embossed detail for these little dots, and then of course your cut line around the outside, and that dot there is going to cut out. So if you want to hang this heart, you absolutely could do. Now you've also got 2 stamps on here. You've got the definition of the word home and the definition of the word love, which again are going to fit perfectly onto that element. So whether you want to stamp them on each side and then make that a little hanger, or maybe you want to make it out of something more resilient and make it as a charm or any item you'd like to, you absolutely can do. You could cut several of these and stick them back to back. Choice is yours, but it's again going to fit through your machine and come in your bundle. Then we have our last set from Marianne that's going to be in this set, and with this one we have 3 separate flower dies, and we've got 3 matching flower stamps that are going to go with them. So we've got your 2 different flower heads and your leaf design, and as you can see they all correspond perfectly with your stamps and your dies. Now you can use any of the stamps separately if you'd like to, or of course you could use any of the dies separately if you wish to, but if you do want to use them together you certainly can. Now that will complete your bundle, as in your machine and then them 4 sets of dies. And as I say, it is worth approximately, recommended retail price is £60. The offer price on this is just $39.99. But it doesn't end there, because when we actually dig into our box, this is a starter kit from Vaessen Creative. So what that means is not only do we get our machine, there's also a couple of little elements in here as well. So as we start to unbox this one, we have our instruction booklet. Now Vaessen Creative instructions are always brilliant. I find these really handy. They break everything down into picture format, so you don't only have to read it, but you can see it in picture form. You can see the stacks that they're meaning very quickly, very easily. The book goes through obviously the English instructions, you've got the Dutch, the Italian, it's all in there, but of course if you're reading in English then that's just the front portion of the book that you're going to need, and it'll break down all the different capabilities that the machine has. From the instruction booklet we move on, and they have included a little set of dies as well. So you've got your circle, you've got a heart, you've got your star, and you've got your hexagon. On top of that, you've also got an embossing folder. Now this is perfect because the embossing folder is a lovely polka dot design, and it's of course going to fit within your machine as well. And we'll be showing you how to use that one shortly. On top of that, you have all of the plates you need. So if we open up this little bag and delve in here, we'll see the plates in question. So we've got our base plate, this is our C plate. These are all marked as well, so you can hopefully see this on the screen. But you've got your C plate, you've got your B plate, and so on and so forth. And then there's an E plate, and you've got a rubber mat as well. And the rubber mat is quite handy and very good to have for this machine too. So all of those bits are going to be the bits we're going to use with the machine. Then if we delve down to the next layer and we take out the top part here, we can see that we have your machine ready to go, pre-built, straight from the box. You are ready to work with this. But equally, it's going to come to you nice and protected. They've even built a little holder in there for the handle. So packaging wise, you know it's going to reach you in good condition and ready to work. So we'll pop all of that lot out the way for a second, and let's show you a little bit about how this one actually plays and works, shall we? So if we bring in our machine, now something to note here is this little lock handle on the side. Now on the base we have a vacuum seal. Now it doesn't stick very nicely to my very matte black desk in this room, but in my work room I've got gloss counters, and I find that this goes down, you then just push the handle down and it will lock down to the surface and it will stay there while you're using it. As I say, with this desk, not so handy, but in a time when I'm not using it, I don't want it welded down to the desk, I tend to just leave it on lock so that the base is in there and I can just move it around nice and easily wherever I need it to be, which is quite handy. So let's show you some cutting within this machine, shall we? So we're going to use our black plate. Now again, I wanted to use plates to show you that I've been using. So you're going to see cut marks in them. You're going to see different wear and tear signs. And I think that's important because if you want to know that this is a machine that's going to work time and time again and that you're not going to need to keep replacing your plates week after week. So I'm going to take my die, I'm going to take my piece of card, I'm going to put my piece down, I'm going to place the die on top of it, I'm going to go for the top plate, which in this case is the B plate, and we're going to send this through the machine. Now as I mentioned, as somebody who likes to cut a lot of flowers, this is something I find real easy and a lot quicker than using bigger machines. Now you may have seen our video or you may already have one, but we of course do the larger Vaessen creative machine as well, which is more of an A5 size machine, and there is actually an incredible bundle for that one too. So if you've got a mini machine and you're looking for bigger ones, do check out the website to see larger versions too. But for this one, this is one of the things I find really good about it. It is this ability to go in and cut these flowers out very quickly, very instantly, without having to wait for the plates to pass through. Because a lot of times you only have one die in each of the sizes of your flower, and you might only want all of your flowers to be that one size of them. And you're going to be looking at cutting 3 or 4 layers per flower, maybe 4 or 5 flowers per card. That's a lot of time waiting for it to go through a larger machine when you can send it through this one. And don't forget, although I sent my plates all the way through, if you just want to send it in for the flower and reverse it back, you can absolutely do that too. So even that can be slightly quicker than taking it all the way through. So again, options for you that way. But as you can see, we've cut our flower. This one is our French marigold design, which is one of my absolute favourites. So it's also sort of engraved into the petals as well, because that's what this die will do for you. And the machine, of course, can handle that and do that as well. You then, of course, have the aperture that is left. And maybe it's the aperture you would prefer instead of the cutout for your project. Well, again, of course, you've got that part as well. We can then emboss with this, so don't forget they've included an embossing folder for you. Now this has got a positive and a negative side to it, and we're going to take our card and we're going to place that once again on the inside here. And we're just going to find our relevant plates. So for this we want the B plate and we want the E plate, so both of our clear ones, and we're going to take this and we're going to send this through the machine again. So I'm just going to hold that down and send it through. You can see these are plates I've been using a lot of. They're even covered in ink. Nothing is safe in my room when I get going. So very well loved, very well used machine. And as you can see, your embossing has come through nice and clean and crisp. And again, perfect to do. Now, sadly, being honest with you, we don't have access to any more mini embossing folders at the moment. So it is only this one that's going to come within your bundle, and we can't offer you any more on the website as yet. But it is something we're always looking to add to. So you never know, they might appear in time. But it's good to know that if you find them or source them from somewhere else, then of course you've got that ability to use them within this one too. Something we do have though on the website that you can work with, and is very inexpensive, is our mini stencils. Now of course you can use these for all of your different stenciling requirements, but you can also emboss these inside this machine. So we're going to take this one and we are going to use our black mat. We're going to place down our stencil. We're going to lay on top of that our piece of card. Now I mentioned earlier that we have that foam mat. We're going to bring that in and we're going to put that on the top there. And then we're going to use our E-plate on top of that one. And we're going to send this through. Exactly the same as we did the embossing folder or the dies. Just going to hold down the machine, sending that one through here. And what's going to happen this time is that foam is going to push down on the card into the stencil. So when we remove this, you will see we have embossed that stencil. Now this could be any size stencil that fits obviously inside the machine. So you might have the borders from my trio sets, they would work very nicely in here. You might want to use some lace or some netting or some ribbon instead. It doesn't have to be a stencil, it could be anything that's got a bit of texture to it. Lay that down on the plate, put your card on top, put your rubber mat comes included on top of that, and send it through. Now the rubber mat, as I mentioned, that comes with your machine. Even when we look at the larger versions of the machines, they don't come included. You have to buy them as a separate add-on. So again, this machine has thought of that for you. It's coming with it for you. So you are good to go from the minute you've got it out of the box. There is nothing more you need to add. The other good thing to know about this as well, our plates are available. So if you do happen to lose one, or if one does get very sort of worn and torn and you feel you want to replace them, we do stock the replacements as well, and you'll find them on the website. But at the time of filming this, they're all in stock, they're all accessible. So if at any point you do want to add more plates to your bundles, you absolutely can do that as well. Now, if you have any questions about this machine or anything I've shown you, please don't hesitate to either pop them in the comments and I'll do my very best to answer them for you, or give us a call. Daphne is on hand all day, every day, from 9 AM to 7 PM, 7 days a week, to take your questions. And if she has escaped, there is an answering machine there that you can leave her a message and she will call you back the minute she's back. The phone number is 01493 843 666. Now, you can go online and you can order this at our website. Our website is www.craftmaniacrafts.com, and you will find this bundle under the bundle tab. Now, just to recap, this bundle will include for you, obviously, the dies that Vaessen Creative have given you, the machine that they have given you, the instruction booklet. You will also have your embossing folder as well, and you will have all of your plates too. So it is ready to go from the minute you've got the machine out of the box. On top of that, we will also give you the Happy Birthday die set from Sue Wilson, and you will also receive the 3 different sets of dies as shown here from Marianne Die. And as I mentioned, the bundle value for this is approximately £60, but your offer price for this whole kit that you can see is just $39.99. Now, I hope that makes sense. If you've got any questions, as I mentioned, please don't hesitate to ask. But wouldn't this make a perfect present either for yourself? Maybe you want to drop a little hint and share this video with a loved one, or tag them in the comments. Or maybe you might be looking at this and thinking of who you could be buying this for as a starter set to get them into the world of crafting. Either way, I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and I hope it's inspired you to grab hold of one of these little mini machines. Thank you very much for watching. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.